Hello, my loves. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to week 2 of March 2021's weekly energy forecast. Let's dive in. This week may very well be your favorite week of March because I think it's my favorite week. And the reason why I say that is because there is going to be an increase of abundance, a windfall of unexpected abundance flowing to you this week in many different forms and in many different unanticipated ways. So we are all being encouraged to remain open to receiving. And we're going to want to pay attention to the divine guidance, the nudges, the signs, your intuition, the messages that you are receiving from your guides, your team, from heaven, because that is going to be the best way that you can speed up this increase of abundance, is if you recognize those signs, you recognize those nudges, and then you honor them. You allow them to occur. We are all being given these subtle pushes almost in the right direction to help speed this process up with this windfall of abundance. But it's up to you whether or not you choose to listen. Okay, so that is the first energy of the week. The secondary energy of the week, the influencing energy, is that of a quiet retreat. And this doesn't mean that you need to go to some conference or you need to, go on a spiritual retreat. This literally could quite simply mean it's time for you to disconnect from the outer world so that you can listen and that you can process what's going on for you in your inner world. Okay. We have been now in this pandemic for a year, right? It doesn't seem quite possible, but then again, absolutely does. But we have become so consumed with consuming social media, food, information, messages from thought leaders, whatever the case may be. But a lot of us have become very disconnected to our own inner happenings and our own inner world. And so we're being encouraged to create quiet time for ourselves so that we can finally gain clarity on what to do next. We're being encouraged. This is an opportunity and a time for us to really begin putting wheels in motion in places and areas that we have been maybe neglecting or putting on the back burner. And so, ask yourself, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to be honest with yourself. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a retreat? Because that is your own inner truth guiding you in where to take action. Okay, so the two energies for this week is going to be that of an unexpected windfall of abundance. I'd love to hear how that shows up for you this week, but also to really disconnect from your outer world for a period of time, almost like a detox, if you want to think of it that way, so that you can listen and really process what's going on for you in your inner world. Okay, so many of us as well have found ways of coping. And the problem with coping is that you are basically biding time. And so you are like a ticking time bomb. If you aren't doing the work internally to process what's going on, if you are, using recreational drugs, if you are, drinking alcohol, if you are, maybe you've become addicted to online shopping. I know I did for a while. Whatever it may be, those are all coping mechanisms. Are they healthy? Not necessarily, but they're helping you to go about your day to day, right? But what it's really doing underneath the surface is it is basically creating setting the stage for a perfect storm, unless you take the time to process what's going on for you right now, what's coming up for you right now, what emotions are you navigating right now. And this is all part of, paying attention to the divine guidance that you're being given this week And that could really be uncomfortable. You may be being told to really take a minute and sit with yourself and your shadows and navigate what's coming up for you. That's uncomfortable AF, for real, right? No one wants to actually do that. It leads to tears, it leads to anger, it leads to frustration, it leads to despair and sorrow. But then on the other side of that is breakthrough, that there's breath in those. After all of those moments have happened, you are in a place where you're going to feel lighter when you allow yourself to listen and process what's going on for you internally. I hope this message resonated for you. I hope that you were able to take away some good from this message. Please share this message with a friend. Tag a friend that needs to hear this information, or save it for yourself for later. So that way you can come back to this when you are midweek and you're like, wait a minute, what did Lauren say? What was I supposed to do? What's the collective being told to do right now? Because oftentimes we get caught up in the day-to-day, right? And we forget to reconnect with our own inner knowing and our higher selves. All right, I will see you next week for week 3's energy for March 2021. Bye-bye.